All right, hello, and welcome back to the Encore podcast. I am your host, Michael C. Brown, and I am so excited about our guest here today. A lot of people don't know here at Winners Mill, almost every year we have one or two exchange students that we accept into the school. This year, we have the opportunity to have Miss Ornella Saragosa. I'm sorry, Saragosa. I told you I was going to butcher something, but I did not butcher the whole name. Ornella Saragosa, and she is from France, right? And she speaks like four different languages, including English, which she says is not that great, but I think she speaks very, very well. So we're going to be here talking about a couple things. So thank you so much, Anella, for being on the podcast. Appreciate you. How are you doing today?
Good.
Yeah. So tell everybody about, just your age, your class, or your junior, senior here at Winners Mill, and anything little about yourself you want to share.
I'm 16 and I'm a senior. Um, Basically in France, I'm supposed to be a junior, but I think it's a good opportunity to be a senior here because we have a lot of stuff we can do, and it's a part of the American experience.
Awesome. So talk about the experience coming all the way over from France and coming here to the United States as an exchange student. What was that process? Did you think like last year that you would be here with a certain paper? Like what was that process like in order to come here as an exchange student?
Um, my sister first to that, and that just puts in my brain, I want to do that too. It's like amazing. And I just like look with which organization I can do that and all of that. And I just prepare myself to just be in America and try to just like learn English, learn culture, and just be an American girl, an American teenager. Um, it's a hard experience, obviously, because you're far off your family and you miss a lot of things like birthday, Christmas, and all of that because you can't come back to your country.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just so exciting,
Yeah.
like so good.
Awesome. So, and I can only imagine like the challenges, right? I think a lot of people, in America, a lot of times we don't get the opportunity to like travel like that. So the only thing that we get to see about other countries is through like movies, and movies can be very bad depicting cultures in a way that's not accurate, right?
Yeah.
And so you may watch a James Bond movie and you be like, oh, I know like about France, like you don't, right? Because the movies aren't accurate. It's like it's drama, and so it's not real, and so the only way you're really going to experience a culture is by actually going there and experience it for yourself, right? So talk about some of the differences within the French and American cultures. Like, were there some things that you thought of America was like, and you've gotten here now, and you're like, well, that's different. Like, it's not exactly the same. What are some of those major differences between the French and American cultures that you see?
Um, One of the most thing I think is like people. People here are very helpful, like teacher. All of the teacher I have just want to be nice with you and for you can have good grade and you can have like example of Mr. L. He tries so hard to help me with my English when I have to learn to read something or like that. And that is very nice. I think we don't have that in France. Like with teacher, we don't have that. They're going to help you, but some just don't care and just do the class. And that is example with people. All of the people I meet here are so nice.
Mm-hmm.
And that is very good.
Yeah, well, so So don't go to France if you're looking for people to be nice to you. I would think people are nice, but in school you feel as though it's a little bit different as far as like I guess the connection between student and the student teacher relationship is different.
Yeah, that is a big difference.
Mm.
Just the school, like in France, is not the same. Like here we start at 7:30, in France at 8:30, but you finish at 2, we finish at 5. So that is a big
Okay.
difference. Here, sport is a big thing. In France, we don't have really time to do sports because we finish school late.
Mhm.
And so many differences like that. Um, France is more stressful for school. Here is very chill. Uh,
There are some people out there that are stressed out though, so that is true. But yeah, yeah, I think that's interesting because um going to school later, and I've heard such things before as like school is a little bit later. It's like it really like a full day
yeah.
of school. I also heard that the school lunches are way better in France than they are here. Is that
Yeah,
true?
people come to cook with for us, like good dish with sauce, meat, sometimes rice, pasta, vegetable.
Yeah,
Yeah, and we have like 1 hour for lunch.
yeah. 1 hour. See, that's the thing. When I went to well, the last time I was in Europe, I got a chance to visit Germany, and I was in Amsterdam as well. And so I marveled at just how good like the food was, but more particularly the bakeries were amazing,
Yeah.
right? And it didn't matter which one. It's like there's one on every corner, but I was like, I tried them all because I was like, I wanted to see how consistent they were. And all of them were like a croissant in Europe versus a croissant here is not the same. Like it is not the same.
Yeah, croissant here is so bad.
And I didn't know I didn't necessarily understand like why, but I'm like, man, I'm like I would go back to Europe just for the bread alone. Like and
Yeah,
that's just me. Like the bread alone there is just
so good. Yeah.
fantastic. Yeah. So talk about you're a teenager
Yeah.
and you have teenagers in France and what like I'm just curious, like what are the differences and similarities between teenagers in both different countries? Are they the same? Are they dealing with some of the same stuff? Like what does that kind of look like? What do you see as the differences?
One of the most differences I see is what people wear, like the clothes. Here, people don't care, they just going to wear pajama or anything like that. In France, we try to be the most nicely and wear like good clothes and all of that, like look nicely. And here, just people come, you look that, it's okay. Like, and I still like that. Like I have the habit to just like look nice, have perfect makeup, perfect hair. So I just come like that here and like we just focus in the appearance
Hmm.
and here now. And if I have to say one similitude, um, I say oh, both of them love to spend time with friends.
Okay.
In France, like most of the time after school, we go to like for a drink, a coffee or things like that together and go see things like that.
Hmm.
And I feel here too, so
Yeah. Yeah.
that is the same.
Good. Yeah. I think that it's interesting because kids here would probably say that they are being fashionable, but they don't realize that most of the time, they have the freedom to where they don't have
Mm,
to be at their best every day.
yeah.
But also, I will say that um, France is supposed to, France is supposed to be one of those places that fashion is really
Yeah,
important. Is it not? Like that's one of the places that you would
yeah,
think, right?
yeah. Not every day, not everybody, but we try really. And we have a dress code very strict. We can't wear short dress too short. Or
Mm.
we can't wear sweatpants. We can't wear open shoes. So many things like that. So we just have no cracks. So we just have to try to be nicely and just like that.
Mm. Do you all wear your uniforms? Is it not a uniform you can wear?
No, we don't have a uniform.
Okay.
I'm in a private school. Some have, some not, and I don't have. In my middle school, we have to wear um like a jacket and
Mm.
all the same and long as a knee for everybody have the same and we can't like look brand and all of that because it's focused on that.
Hmm.
You have to wear good brand and all of that for you, people can love you. Yeah, that's stupid.
Yeah, it sounds very, very interesting. So, you you also are involved in some activities. I know for one, cheerleading, because I saw you at cheerleading practice like yesterday. So, explain to me, just that process of wanting to be involved in cheerleading and what other activities here at Winter's Mill have you been a part of or seen from afar that you've really enjoyed those experiences?
Yeah, so I'm a cheerleading in the JV team,
All right.
and
Yeah.
it's like it's like the most American thing here. Um, if you just ask a French girl or I think just a girl, no American, what you want to be in America, she's going to say a cheer.
Really?
It's
Really?
it's like in the movie and all of that. So yeah, and I just love that.
Okay. I did not know that was the
Yeah.
American thing, like cheerleader.
Yeah,
Yes.
when I tell my friends in France, I'm going to be a cheerleading, they are so exciting. Like they say, you have to take film of when you cheer so we can see that and all of that. Yeah, it's so funny. And I just love that, like the mood of the cheer and all of that. So interesting. And
Well,
I'm out.
but do you know like the game you're gonna be cheering for? Do you know anything about basketball? Like, is that?
Yeah, we
I
have
know that.
basketball in
I know you
France.
haven't. I just want to make sure you know what you're cheering for, so you know, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
we don't have football,
Okay. Yeah.
but we have basketball.
Okay. Good.
And I'm also in Falcon fan club.
Okay.
So that's interesting. So I can just know when is events and so I can go.
Yeah.
So that's good.
Yeah.
And I can just help um for sing.
Yeah. Have you been to any? You went to a couple of football games, right?
Yeah.
Okay. How was that experience? Because you're like, what
So
is
good.
this?
I go to three kind of football game. High school here, state, I go to Penn State,
Okay. All right. That's a big one.
and I go to a Ravens game.
You went to a Ravens game?
Yeah.
All right.
I
That's
think
good.
it's Ravens against Colt.
The Colts.
Yeah,
Yep.
that was
That was
interesting.
probably a crazy experience, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
people scream every time.
They say I guess the only thing that matches that in Europe is soccer matches.
Yeah, that is a big thing.
Yeah. So, but I don't think people here realize that unless you go to Europe and you see how crazy people act at the soccer matches. Like it's very important to everyone.
Yeah, soccer. Some people are very crazy with that. You can just see video of people just scream so loud for nothing and they make like song and all of that for distract the other team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you have a in Europe, or do you follow soccer like that? Is it a big deal for you, or you like don't really pay that much attention to it?
I don't really follow that, un except when it's like big things like um the World Cup
Okay,
or
World Cup, you're all Frenched out. You're like, I'm ready to go, France, let's go.
yeah, and we do that for Italia too. I
I
have
was about to say which one. So this is the one thing we didn't talk about. So yes, you live in France, but you also have an Italian background as well, right?
yeah,
Okay. So who you World Cup? Who you rolling with? Are you rolling with?
first France because it's
Okay.
my first country, but if France lose, I'm for Italia.
Okay.
I have like a second plan.
So that's not fair because you got two teams.
Yeah,
Somebody's going to advance and get to the finals, so it's going to be one of them, right?
we
Unless they play each other.
yeah, and I follow also when he's the Euro France lose, and so I follow Italia, and Italia wins. So
Okay,
I
yeah, but
only
now
have
now you have to put USA in there somewhere, right? Because now you have a third team.
United States is so bad for soccer. I don't think to be at the World
Our
Cup.
women are good.
I don't follow women. I
Oh,
follow men.
okay. Well, yes, the men are not that great, but if the men are listening to this, I believe in you, U.S. soccer team, that you're going to be better and eventually win a World Cup, and then you could cheer for USA when
Yeah.
if they win. So you also have you get very good grades because I've checked out your grades and those type of things. So talk about how that has been academically for you, coming from another country and coming here. How have you been able to still maintain having high grades with, you talked about, it's not a huge language barrier, but there are some language barriers as far as like writing and so forth. Like how you still been able to keep a high grade point average?
I think it's just like France is very strict on that for school. You have to work a lot. And so I just do that all of my life. And here is so much more easy to France. So
Mm-hmm.
for me, it's kind of like natural. I just come to home and work a little bit. And like I do in France. And so many things like chemistry, I do that before, like in 10th grade, or
Okay.
what we do in English, I do that in French in ninth grade. I just like learned that before. I just try to understand to learn that in English. And I think it's for that, just the habit to work.
Yeah. Well, if you're already working till 5 o'clock, then or
Yeah.
5 or 6 o'clock, if you're doing that same thing here, then you're way ahead of the game. So lesson to everybody out there: make sure that you are studying till 6 or 7 o'clock because that is what's going on around the world, and I think that is a very, very important. Is that a lot of times students here may feel that they're, if they got to do that every day, they're like, oh my goodness, like I'm overwhelmed, like too much work, and I'm like, no, there's other countries where that's the standard, right? That's the minimum, and for
Yeah.
us, we don't feel like we have to put that work in a lot of times. So
Teacher says the minimum of homework each day is 2 hours.
2 hours in
Yeah,
France minimum. That's amazing. So what
that's
it
not.
yeah,
That's
well,
too much.
it
Really
is.
too
I
much.
do feel that way. I also feel like for students, I think it's important for them to be able to explore different activities
Yeah.
and do some other
Yeah.
things as well, not just school, 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 school.
Yeah, in French it's just school. Like at school you don't have cheer, you don't have football, you don't have basketball. You just have to work. And when you go to your home, you just have time to work again.
Mm.
And you don't have time to practice.
Yeah.
And me, I have school on Saturday too, Saturday morning, so you can't do things on Saturday too because you
Saturday
have school.
morning. What is going on Saturday morning? So so you're at school till 5 o'clock every day,
Yeah,
and then you go back on Saturday for how many hours?
to 9 to 12.
9 to 12. Man, and that's like another class. Is that what everybody does?
No,
That's
not
just what you
everybody.
do.
Yeah, because it's like an option for learn English and Spanish.
Oh, okay. So that's your fourth language.
Yeah.
So we're at, just so everybody knows, just so we're aware. So it is French, English, Italian, and Spanish.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a lot of languages, everybody. I'm
Italian
just
and
saying.
Spanish is not perfect. Is
Okay.
I can understand people and I can answer, but it's not perfect. English is not perfect too, but it's better. And French, we can say is perfect.
Well, you're doing a lot, and that's a lot of things to try to hone in on. But that's awesome. So if you had to, I guess, name one thing in about the USA that you love so far, what would that be?
Um, I love USA. Just USA. I love everything I do here. I love people. I love my host family here. I love the cheer. I love school here. I just love everything. I can't. My host family. I choose my host family because I love.
Shout out to the House family.
Yeah.
Shout out for families all over America that are creating these environments for students to come over to the United States to experience different culture, and and also vice versa, those exchange families that are in other countries that where our students go, they're creating those environments. I think that's super cool, and
Yeah.
I think that should be something that we I don't know, that we really praise, because I think it's a life changing thing,
Yeah.
and it changes people's lives.
And I can just say us because if I'm here, it's because they are here and they say, I want Ornella in the family. So I can just say, I love this family.
Yeah, yeah. So equally, you talked about what you love about the United States. What do you miss? We were talking offline, and we were just talking about like bakery. Like at least that's what I was talking about. It's just the bakeries in Europe are like some of the best in the world, in my opinion. And we don't have that here. So if I was you, I definitely, for me, I wouldn't even eat bread here. I'd be like, this is bread. This is not real bread. And so, is there something that you miss
Yeah,
about home?
the French cheese.
French cheese.
It's the best one. I just so impatient because my parent going to send me some here. I'm so impatient that's come to home.
Yeah.
It's just so good. French people eat cheese every time. Like,
It's cheese every meal. Cheese.
yeah. Like in my
So you
family,
just eat cheese. So so you could be eating pasta and you have like some cheese
yeah. In my family, we have like a dish, like a meal, and just after that, we take cheese with bread. It's every time.
every time.
Every time.
Cheese.
It's a big thing
And is it
here.
like, what kind of cheese? Is it like a cheddar, or like what kind of? I don't.
No, that is just American.
Man, we
Nobody.
eat cheddar cheese. Like we're
Yeah,
cheddar.
it's like we eat like good thing, good cheese. Like I don't know if you know just the name of the
I
cheese, but
don't know. I want to learn so I can have some cheese. I want
um,
everybody.
I can say the name of the
Okay.
cheese. My favorite one, and I think the favorite of all of my family is the Comté.
Okay.
That is the best one, and just did so good, tastes so good. I miss that
Are
so
you
much.
getting a whole bunch of? Because my thing is, people want to sample this cheese. So after this podcast, people are going to come up to you in the hallway and say, "Hey, I want some of that cheese." So if they're sending you some, then you at least gotta let the principal of the school sample this cheese. Like you
Yeah,
have to bring me some cheese.
they're going to send me like French candy too, and
Okay.
so everybody can taste that.
Okay.
Maybe not everybody because I don't think I have enough for everybody. I can give you some.
Well, look, you write the name. Look, we'll at this podcast, we'll write some of these names down. I don't have a problem. I will try to order my own cheese and try to see if I can find it anywhere. There's probably somewhere in the United States that sells this
Yeah,
cheese.
I'm so jealous because I have a friend, another exchange student. She is in Pennsylvania, and one of the friends of his family come with French cheese from
Mhm.
the Maine.
Mhm.
And now I'm so jealous because I want French cheese too.
Yeah. Is there a favorite type of bread? Like, is there a certain type of bread that you? It's just French bread. It's just less.
Yeah, all of the French bread are good. My favorite one is the tradition. It's like a baguette, but better.
Mm-hmm.
And that is so
We do
good.
not do baguettes here in America well at all. Like, if you ask somebody for a baguette
Yeah.
or go get it, you'd be like,
I try Panera, and Panera is close of the real French bread.
Panera is close.
It's close.
Really?
Like
Okay.
when I try, I can't like taste a little bit of the French bread.
A little bit. I don't think it's close, but I'll leave it to you because you're the expert. But I guess that's why Panera is so popular here because people do
It's
like
the
Panera
best
bread.
bread I eat here.
We have to try out this bread and this cheese and try try to make it happen. Um, so talk to me about three. So I ask this to everybody that's on the podcast. So there's three things that here at Winners Mill we're about: passion, purpose, pride. Right. I want kids to really find out what they're passionate about in life, push them to their purpose. Right. And I feel like if you're doing something in life and working and doing something you're passionate about, you'll do a better job, you'll live longer, you'll be happier, all of those things. So name that you right now are passionate about or that you love in your life. Three things.
The first thing, my family, my friends. I'm like with them every time,
Mm-hmm.
and they make me so happy, and they like support me in all of the decisions I make. Like my parent to send me here
Yeah.
is a hard decision for
Oh,
my
sure.
parent, and I think that is the first thing. The second one, travel. I love travel. With my parents, we travel a lot. We come so many time here in USA. We visit so many places and we just go everywhere, and that is so cool because I love that. Like discover thing, like I can compare like what happened in Japan and in USA and what happened in Spain to Italia and everything. And
Mm-hmm.
I think it's so interesting to do that.
Right. Well,
And the third thing, I don't know, maybe like some
let me
job I
should
want
cheer. Let me
to
should cheer.
the job I want to do later. I want to be a lawyer. I always in my life I never like think I'm going to do another thing of that. I just want to do that, and I work so hard for can do that. And I'm here for learn English because I want to be a lawyer like for everybody so I can speak English,
Mhm.
Spanish.
So you'll be
With
a big time world
yeah,
lawyer where you'll be able to go to different countries and do different things. I think that's super cool. There's a
yeah.
lot of schooling involved in being a lawyer though, but I think you're already ahead of the game already because you're learning these different languages. You're going to school on Saturday. Um, but I think that is awesome, and you have a lot of students here that also want to be lawyers, and I call it fighting the good fight because they want to make the world better
Yeah.
um, by being a lawyer. So I think that's awesome. Um, is there anything else that you wanted to talk about or wanted to mention as we get ready to close things out here? Because you can give any shout outs out. You already mentioned your home family, your family,
Um,
your friends out there. You send it, you will send this there. You will be able to send it to everybody, so they're gonna be able to see this. So,
um, if I had just one thing to say, is just stay you. Like
stay you.
you're everybody I meet here are so nice, and they help me like every day for I can learn better and can understand people better. So just thank you to all of this person, and I don't want to go back to France.
Hey, we just talked about the bread and the cheese and
Yeah,
everything else.
my parent can send me that. Anybody can send me like just my life here. I'm going to leave in like 7 months, and I'm not going to come back to school here, and
Mm-hmm.
that makes me so sad.
Mm-hmm. But you know, you've been here, so I think that you know eventually,
Yeah.
you know, once you become an adult, you know, you can choose to live the way the world is now. You can choose to live wherever you want, and
Yeah.
still travel. And maybe the company is in uh, France, but you can live in the United States, and you can travel back and forth if you want to.
Yeah, but I have all of my life in France too.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So it's okay.
Take
I've
them all with you when you come. Everybody come to America. Everybody.
Yeah, there are going to be a lot of people. But it's okay.
You got a lot of convincing when you go back on why they
Yeah.
need to be in America.
With my best friend in France, we want to come back here because I want my boyfriend to meet my friends here and my husband's family here because everybody are so nice and she's so nice too.
Yeah.
So when we are 18, we come back here.
There you
Is
go.
that going to be fun?
There you go. That's awesome. Well, look, I this podcast is a wrap. I want to thank you so much for being on the podcast. I think that I personally could probably talk to you for like another hour because I'm so interested in, you know, your home country and learning more about it and learning more about you in particular. But we only have a short amount of time, so I felt as though I crammed as much as I could into this episode. But I think you're an outstanding person and so super interesting. So I'm just super excited to have you on. Um, this is just a reminder to everybody. Just remember, Encore Podcast. We are here to give you all more of the content in which that you want. Again, just like today, having on interesting guests, people that whether they're living life differently, they're living life the same. We want to learn about other people, other cultures. In this situation, you know, a whole another country. So we're learning from each other. And I think that all makes us a better place and makes the world a better place. Remember, if you like the content, remember to subscribe, follow me on Instagram at Michael C. Brown 54. I will be putting all of this content out there for you all. So if you don't subscribe, you don't get notifications, which means you'll be out of luck when new episodes are dropped. So for Ornella, I want to say thank you for everybody, and I hope to see you all again next time on Encore Podcast. Thank you.